it's tough. It's no secret. We're not shooting the ball very well, and I think part of it even today was continuing to move the basketball and play from side to side, and get some shots later in the shot clock that are ball movement-wise, drive, kick, and maybe we'll get some more open ones. But yeah, no, it's tough, and I've been saying it all year. It's going to turn at some point, and the best time to be shooting well is at the end of the year.
Let's build a wall to prevent these guys from honing in on our interview here. I was just kidding. Come on in here.
Thanks, John.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
A point of emphasis that today would be an important practice day to circle back after a tough game. What was the focus like and energy level like in response?
Our focus was great. Our energy level was right where it needed to be, feeling the sting of last night, but also understanding that we had work to do in order to fix whatever we didn't do correctly yesterday, which was obviously there was some shot making, but then defensively letting go of it a little bit, allowing ourselves to get discouraged by makes or misses, but trusting our process so we can still play the type of basketball that we need to play.
You guys don't practice to this intensity much a day in between games, but why was it important to get after it in that sense?
when you don't have that many days to do it, you always want to remember that you want to be playing your best basketball in March and April. And I think in order to do that, sometimes you have to get on the floor and get after it real time, real game speed, and understand exactly, yes, we do have games coming up, but I think the more you can prepare at game speed makes you more prepared for the game.
You said last time that you didn't want to overreact to one loss. You kind of assessed that that was the same sentiment from the team coming into practice today.
Yeah, I think there's a sense of urgency. There's a sense of disappointment and embarrassment of how we played. And again, I go back to exactly what I said yesterday. You give Cleveland a ton of credit for the way in which they play and how they executed and how they knocked shots down. But we have to take that as the one game, and we saw what happened in it, and we're going to make sure that does not happen again because we are prepared the right way, and we understand exactly what we need to do moving forward.
Why? We know this team's been together. We know that what this team believes they can do. Why has it been so difficult to kind of hit those marks consistently?
There's probably a few things that can lead to that. The first thing that comes to mind is the difference in lineups and guys being in and out. And when that happens, roles change. And sometimes when roles change and guys come back in, it becomes a little bit difficult to settle back in to exactly what you were doing before because more has been asked of you. And I think just finding the time and the space and the communication to understand exactly what's being asked in this new moment when you have a complete roster almost, that you can convey that and communicate it the right way for what guys are needed to do within a game.
What does it take for them to get everybody on the same page? Obviously, the games just keep coming and you kind of...
Well, I think practices like this, I think when you can go in and execute the right way at a game speed, at a full speed, you can stop it, you can pause it, you can say exactly what's needed, what's expected of you in this moment, how you want to move it, the time on the clock you want to shoot the ball, defensively where you need to be positional. It's different when you're just walking through something in a pregame or you're walking through a shoot around. When you can really get after it, it means more when you can use examples of the game as well as what has just happened in practice.
How much have you seen that guys are not on the same page in the games?
I mean, with every team, you're going to have some of that. And I think we are, for the most part, on the same page. I just really do believe that these guys are continuing to learn to relearn how to communicate back at the high level once you get everybody back on the floor the right way.
How was Cole?
Cole was not able to go through practice, but we're just monitoring it a little bit.
Is that something that you anticipate could be something that makes him miss a couple games? Or
I'm anticipating no. I'm telling you right now, I'm anticipating no, and we'll just keep it day by day to see exactly how he feels after the treatment he gets today.
We saw you guys were disappointed after the game on Friday against Memphis. How important is that next game to kind of respond to whatever happened, whatever happened in the previous game and take a big loss?
You have to. You can't sit in that too long. You have to understand it stings, it hurts. You lose by 2-1 or you lose by 40. They all sting. They all hurt. You don't want to lose games. But the other side of it is, are you sticking with the process of the work that you need to do to prepare yourself for every single one of those games? And did you learn from the previous ones, win or lose? Did you learn from it? And what can you take away from it to move it into the next game?
How are you doing with that? Because I'm sure there's some self-imposed pressure on you to be the best you can be and get the team as good as it can be. How have you developed in terms of dealing with that self-imposed drive?
Well, there should be. There should be expectation. There should be pressure. There should be the expectation of a coach to help guys be in the best position that they can be, both on and off the court. So the way I handle it is the same thing I'm trying to tell this group. And overall, you trust your process of work. You wake up this morning and you understand exactly what you need to do the first thing to get your mind and your body and your spirit in the right space to come present to this team the right way. And that's what you have to do, because if you're tasking and asking them to do it and be prepared the right way and be alert and be on with energy and focus, then I have to do that as well. And because that's how I want to live and work through in order to do it for them as well. Thank you all. Appreciate it. We'll
last night's game, Coach emphasized the importance of having a practice today to correct some of the issues. How did you feel the focus level and the energy level was the group in response to that today?
I thought it was good. I think everybody understands the urgency that's needed right now, and obviously after the way the game went, so that was a good step today, and obviously have a big game tomorrow.
How do you balance 40-point loss and wanting to 82?
I think it's just part of the season, and you just try to learn from it. I think the good thing about the NBA is that we play tomorrow again and have another shot at it, and with every game, I just try to take it one game at a time and use it as an opportunity to get better for myself and as a team, and I think that way you don't get too high or too low.
We talked to Cole last night a little bit, and he mentioned that sometimes throughout this recent stretch, you guys haven't maybe always been on the same page. Is there anything that you can kind of point to as to why that might be the case, or how can you guys kind of rectify that?
I think it's just practicing, communicating, talking everything through that we see. Also stopping in practice when we don't have a great possession and talking about it right there. And then I think everybody doing the homework before the game starts, so that we are on the same page.
Can you put your finger on maybe why that's been a little bit of a struggle for you guys? And you guys have kind of prided yourselves on the continuity, on kind of knowing each other. Can you put a finger on why things have not worked out the way?
No, everything I'd say right now is either an excuse or we didn't do our job at the end of the day. So
Does
one of those two.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was just going to ask, does anyone say anything in practice, or do you guys?
No, yeah, I think just natural. I think we have a lot of guys that are more quiet, and so sometimes that happens in the game. But I think that's part of practice for us. Coaches telling guys to speak up and speak their mind, and players communicating just with each other. Because out there in the game, we can't just always look to the coaches. So I think that's a big thing for us.
Kind of on that point, I know you're still very young in your career, but do you feel like you need to do more as a leader and as a kind of leading voice for this team in those moments to help the team get through those walls, or how do you feel like you need to respond in those moments?
Yeah, I think that's part of my responsibility to make sure everybody is on the same page and communicate out there what I'm seeing, and I'm one of those guys that coaches are talking to speak up more. So for sure.
Thanks, Franz.
Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Dude.